Hello, welcome to the Thursday Thoughts edition of Strong Men, Strong Marriages. 3 signs of mental weakness in marriage. So we're talking about building mental strength this week. We want to identify some of those areas where we might be weak. My name is Mike Fraser, MD. I'm a psychiatrist and marriage coach. I help high-achieving Christian men have more intimate marriages. So sign 1 is of mental weakness is that you blame your wife for how you're feeling. This is a big one. So you can say, oh, you're on your phone, that makes me so mad. Or you're not having sex and that's why I'm frustrated. If you would just change, then, I would feel better. So this is mental weakness because you're basically putting her in charge of your emotions. You're not recognizing that the way you think and believe is what generates the way that you feel. If that all sounds foreign, go back to Tuesday's episode or first few episodes. It'll kind of explain this to you. But you can be sure you're being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually weak if you're blaming your wife for how you feel. Okay. And you're also showing that you're needy on her to build you up. Okay. All that's unattractive. It's not strong. Sign 2 of mental weakness is you mix up facts and your interpretation of those facts. A lot of us will do this, and it is a sign of mental weakness. So, for example, if your wife's on her phone in bed, okay, that's the fact. She's just on her phone. She's looking at her phone in bed. Now, your interpretation of that might be she's lazy. She doesn't care about me. She won't talk to me. She's more interested in her phone than me. And a lot of times we'll just assign that as a fact, but it's not. Okay. What we need to get good at is being able to split out what's a fact, what's our interpretation, and then the mental strength to be able to choose an interpretation that is more useful to us, that helps us feel stronger, more empowered. Okay. So that's definite mental strength, and it's definitely mental weakness if you just decide, no, like this is the fact. She really doesn't care. That's the fact. Okay. Not really. She was just sitting there on her phone. That's the fact. Okay. Sign 3 of mental weakness is that you're overly influenced by the opinions of others. So if your wife says something, you're like, oh yeah, that's probably right, even though you don't believe the same way. Like with religion would be an example, or parenting. Like you really think one way, but she says something, you're like, okay, yeah, that's probably right. The other sign of mental weakness, though, is is being too rigid. Excuse me. So really just deciding, no matter what she says, she's wrong and I'm right. Okay, that's mental weakness, but in the other way. What we're trying to find is that good middle ground where we do listen to the opinions of others, but we also use our own judgment and do both, right? So we find that middle ground. That's real mental strength. Being open-minded and flexible, but not so flexible that we just, whatever people say, we go with. Okay. So again, the 3 signs of mental weakness in marriage: blaming your wife for how you're feeling means you are really not controlling your own thoughts very well and you're overly influenced by her. Sign 2 is you're mixing up facts with your interpretation of the facts, really deciding, oh no, what I believe is right versus separating the fact from that. And then being overly influenced by the opinions of others or under influenced, being too rigid in your thinking. So if you want to be able to really own your thoughts and feelings, if you want to be able to distinguish between facts and the interpretation of facts, if you want to be in that middle ground of being open-minded but also strong in your opinions, come join us in Strong Men, Strong Marriages. We'll teach you how to do it. You practice this stuff every day, you'll get really good at it. So come join us, strongmenstrongmarriages.com, or visit the link in the show notes. Also, if it's shorter, strongmen.io will get you there. And we will see you there. You'll fill out an application, and then we'll get you with your best next steps, talk to you on a call. So stay strong, men, and we will see you next episode.